this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from DragoKwan. And DragoKwan has this question. DragoKwan tells us that they have a very good friend who lives far away, who they have known for a number of years. They have corresponded and communicated online, they have spoken via Skype, but they have never met in person. In recent weeks, they have started dreaming about each other meeting in person. And DragoKwan feels that these are psychic dreams. And DragoKwan's question is, how is it possible for two people who have never met to have psychic dreams of each other in which they do meet? And what, if anything, does this mean? Now, DragoKwan asserts that the dreams are psychic in character, and how would one know that? Well, we've talked about this in previous vlogs, and DragoKwan has followed the vlog for many years. And I would assume that they are basing the opinion that these are psychic dreams on one of a number of criteria, of which probably the most important is that when a dream is a communication of a psychic nature, it feels very immediate, more so than an ordinary dream. It can also sometimes be in much more realistic focus and detail. Sometimes there's information you would not get from other places. In terms of meeting a person in a dream, perhaps they have had a similar or the same dream and confirmed some of the details. These are various reasons that you might assume that it is in fact a psychic dream. Also, if you awake feeling it's very, very important, that it's important for you to remember and to understand, this is another sign that it is in fact communication, not just a dream. So, having thus established that we're talking about a psychic dream, how can two people who've never met meet each other in a dream state? Well, the answer to that is that we don't have to be in the same place to feel each other's energy, and you see this in many different aspects of metaphysics. Often when we do magic, or when we do healing, or when we do psychic reading, we're working with people who are not physically present with us, sometimes very far away. You can do a psychic reading for a person on the other side of the planet. All you need is some way to tie into their energy. This can be as simple as knowing their name, or having their question, or it could be in a number of other ways. You could be reading them online, you could be reading them by phone, but they definitely do not have to be in the same place for you to feel their energy. The same is true with healing. You can do spiritual healing for a person far, far away from you. You can do spiritual healing for a person knowing very little about them, as long as you can tie into their energy in one way or another. So definitely people don't have to be physically together to have that kind of bond. And I would say also that it doesn't even necessarily have to be someone that you have met remotely, as DragoKwan has met their friend online. It can be a person you've never met, and yet you can have communication from their spirit in a dream. I can remember dreaming in my early teens about a woman, then a girl, with a very distinct appearance. And we were together outside the house I grew up in, and inside the house our two families were partying, celebrating our future marriage. And as I say, the woman was very distinct in appearance and had blondish hair. Years later, I had grown up and gotten married to a woman with a very distinct appearance and jet black hair. But one day, not too far into the marriage, I realized, wait a minute, this is the person I dreamed about all those years ago. The features are unmistakable. It had not been in my conscious mind to make that connection until after the situation had occurred, but I quite suddenly realized I had dreamed of this woman all those years before, except the hair was different. And that can be symbolic in character, but the lady was a priestess and a psychic reader, and so I discussed the dream with her, and lo and behold, when she was the age at which I had had this dream, she had in fact dyed her hair blonde for a short period of time. So you can definitely dream about people that you have not yet met but will one day. And so you could certainly dream about people that you have met but not in person. And it would be just the same kind of connection you would make in doing a psychic reading, the same kind of connection that you would make in doing spiritual healing or magical work. It is a spiritual connection which does not rely upon physical proximity. And when we look at the world around us, the physical world is not all that is there. We have a spirit, we have a soul that transcends this world while also being part of it. And it's at that level that these communications are made. And if you are working with metaphysics, I think you must surely understand and have had experiences with this aspect of being. And that's what's going on here. Again, it's no different from reading for a person who's far away or working with them magically far away. They don't have to be present for you to make the connection. You just have to have some way to tie into the energy. So yes, I believe firmly that dream communication can happen. Sometimes it is merely communication. Sometimes it is prophetic in character. And as for what does this particular series of dreams that DragoKwan and their friend have had, what do they mean? Well, I think you'll have to wait and see how it unfolds. The one thing I can definitely say is that it indicates a strong spiritual connection. But where that connection will go, only time will tell. So those would be my thoughts on the matter. I hope you find them helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be.
Spirit guides. Every person has a number of spirit guides or familiar spirits around them. These spirits are there to help us in our lives, especially in dealing with major life lessons. They are also there to advise us if we know how to listen to them. Spirit guides are drawn from among the spirits of people we have known with whom we still have a strong connection. Sometimes these are people we have known in this life, and sometimes they are people we have known in other lifetimes, of which we may or may not have conscious memory. A person may have many spirit guides, but usually one special spirit will be the main guide. This spirit is a companion and guardian throughout life, even if the person has no conscious knowledge of their presence. There are many kinds of spirit guides, some of whom specialize in healing or the development of particular qualities or talents. But it is not necessary to know what a spirit guide specializes in to receive their help. Indeed, it is not even necessary to know they are there to be helped by them. In medieval times, spirit guides were called fairies before that term came to be attached to nature spirits instead. They are also sometimes called guardian angels, but whatever they are called, the concept is always the same, a spiritual guide and helper who eases our journey through life.